It's DIY with the Doyles. All right, hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So guess what? This week is anniversary week for us. So as you guys know, we're coming up on 2 years of marriage on Tuesday. So today we wanted to talk about all things weddings. Starting with where we got married. Look, it's right here behind us. We figured we'd pop back by here and just kind of start our video off here. But then today we're actually just going to spend some time together and enjoy each other's company and reminisce a little bit, talk about some stuff, and we're going to show you guys some pictures, just kind of bring you guys along the ride with us as we reminisce over the last 2 years and how much fun we've had.
Yeah.
But we also, like I said, wanted to start where we got married and just kind of let this be the first little stop on our little train of remembrance.
Yeah.
It's actually really pretty out here in the country.
Yeah.
And, you know,
It's
you
a lot
can kinda,
warmer today than it was on our wedding day.
It is.
But it wasn't like
I'm just going to show
freezing.
you this while we keep talking.
It wasn't freezing on our wedding day.
It wasn't. There was a little bit of snow on the ground, but that was because it had snowed earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And, you know,
It was still really beautiful.
it was still a really great day.
It was. I was super excited, and everything
Yeah.
kind of came together, and
It was a wonderful day.
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and hop in the car, and we're going to start just having some fun together. And we're going to bring you guys along for the ride. So, let's go.
Let's go.
Yes. All right, so here we are. We're out here on a little road trip, spending some time together out in the country. And so while we're driving, figured we would just talk a little bit about some of our favorite memories from our wedding day.
Okay, so what is your favorite memory from our wedding?
I can't say that I have like one, like just one. I mean, so the fat kid in me loves.
Oh, our food was really good. Our food was really good. We were very particular about the food that we had at our wedding. Like, I'm sorry, I've been to enough people's weddings with some bland chicken breast that's been sitting in its own sauce for who knows how long.
Or
No sauce and some potatoes. And like a green bean.
salad.
Or a dry salad or a green bean. Like, when I tell you, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody.
Not at all.
I'm
but that's
saying
a
I've been to,
thing.
it is a typical wedding meal where it's like chicken breast dry, potatoes dry,
or
and a
decent,
crumpled
but
up
no flavor.
a crumpled up green bean that looks like you took all nutrient value out of that thing.
Right.
And now you're just like trying to find some type of nutrients inside of it. So like we were very particular about the type of food that we were getting and what it was going to taste like. And we were very pleased that one of the biggest things that people took away from our wedding was that the music was good. The food was good and the music was good. And that's what I cared about the most, that people had a good time.
Yeah, so I mean, our food was really great. So like I don't even want to consider that like necessarily like one of my favorite memories or anything, but I will say the food was really good, and we fought really hard to make sure that we got to keep all the leftovers.
Oh yeah, because they were trying not to give it to us.
And I was like, but we paid for it.
But I paid for that. But they were like, well, because of health reasons, and we don't know because the food's been out. I was like, I'll take the risk, please. Wrap up that steak because I paid for that. Thank you.
That steak and that salmon had to come home.
Yes. So we didn't actually do chicken at our wedding.
We did not have chicken.
We did fish, and
we had salmon. We had the filet mignon, and then we had for the appetizers we had like the
jerk chicken. Okay, we
did
have
chicken for the appetizer.
Yeah.
So we had jerk chicken on plantain chips.
Yes.
And then we had something else.
We had something else, but I don't know.
I'll have to look at the pictures.
I didn't even really eat the appetizers.
I did. While she was getting her picture taken, I ate the appetizers. I wish we had a picture of me over in the corner eating the appetizers while she's in the background getting her pictures taken. But Yeah, we'll show you some pictures of the food, and hopefully in that we'll figure out what the other appetizer was, because
Right.
I don't remember what it was. So let's see. My favorite memory, though, I would say, for me, because this was a second go round for me, I think one of my favorite memories, or even really just favorite things about our wedding in general, was that I wasn't stressed. Like,
I wasn't stressed either, actually.
I
was not stressed on our wedding day.
I felt very comfortable. I felt very like excited, and like I had, I had my brothers. I had, you know, the nephews were there, like, and so we spent the morning hanging out, like, just relaxing and being silly, and like it really felt good to just spend time with with the guys, and just and not every 2 seconds having to be like, oh, is this here, the only time I was like checking on that was I knew when the photographer was supposed to arrive, and I wanted to make sure that we got all the behind the scenes shots of you and then us getting ready and things like that. That was the only thing I was really worried about, was making sure that the photographer showed up, and then helping the DJ when he got there. So I think my biggest thing was that I just wasn't very stressed. I was real relaxed. I was calm. I was comfortable. And no, the big memory for me, or the big thing for me, was I didn't cry first.
I mean, because yes, I cried from the time they told me it was time to go. I was fine all day, guys. I was fine all day long. I was not crying. It was not until I started walking down the aisle that they were just tears that I could not stop. My grandfather was like, "Why are you crying? Stop crying. You prayed for this. This is what you wanted." And I'm like, I know it's what I wanted, but I didn't even understand my own emotions until I had time to process it after the fact, and really just kind of sit with why it was such a big deal for me getting married.
She cried first.
I cried first. Yes.
I mean, granted, I cried like 30 seconds later.
He cried as soon as he saw me, so I don't even know why he's like, I cried first. I mean,
it was because I feel like it was actually like a running tally amongst our friends.
That's
to
true.
See who would cry first.
That's true.
So I was just glad that I didn't lose that bet or anything.
That is true.
But yeah. So those are my big memories. So with that said, Vina, what's one of your favorite memories from our wedding?
It's tough for me just because, there are a lot of different moments from our wedding day that were really my favorite. And I know everybody's like, oh, everything's always your favorite, and different things like that. And your whole wedding day is your favorite. I'm like, no, not really. I mean, the favorite part of my wedding, I think for me, was just the actualization that I was actually a bride. I think, when you come from a big family and lots of people have gotten married, had babies, and you've been to everybody's shower and everybody's this and that, sometimes when it's your own turn to get married, it kind of feels a little surreal. Like, you expect that everybody's going to kind of surround you, I guess, in the same way that you've always found other people surrounded on their wedding day. And so I think it wasn't until right up to when I was getting ready to walk down the aisle and I realized that I was actually getting married that it was starting to hit me, that it was like, wow, I'm actually a bride. Like, I mean, because one of the biggest things that we wanted to do as a couple was really keep our wedding small. I mean, again, like I said, I have a really big family, so our guest list could have been 500 people easily. But, when you're footing the bill, 95% of the bill for your wedding, you are very selective about who you want there on your wedding day. And I think that sometimes you get a lot of like invitee shaming because people just want to be a part of your day, but it is really expensive and it's hard to navigate who to invite and who not to invite. I mean, we kept our wedding, we had about 115 people at our wedding, which to some people will say, oh my gosh, that's a big wedding. But honestly, it's really small and it could have been smaller. I mean,
True.
I just knew that I was going to be super emotional. I knew the journey that we had been on as a couple, and our wedding was really about the redemption, not just of, love and knowing that there's love after circumstances that may have happened previously, but just blending a family and becoming one, and a redemptive love story has really always been what we said our marriage was going to be about. And so I just wanted people there that were going to actually be for us as a married couple, not somebody that was just going to be there for me or somebody that was just going to be there for Charles. And so one of the biggest things that I would say to anybody planning a wedding is really just, it's your day, and don't let anybody guilt you into what you should do or tell you that you should do something. Or we had so much stuff happening before our wedding that by the time that we actually got married, it really was just this huge accomplishment for us as a couple. So I would just say that, keep your day special. Don't let anybody else tell you how to conduct your day. I mean, it's your day. It's important, and at the end of the day, it's about you and the person that you're getting married to. And so with that being said, just really love on the person that you're with, your partner, and make the day about you, especially when it's your wallet. It'll be okay if somebody wasn't at your wedding. It'll be okay. But for me, everything was just so personal because every invite that went out meant something to me, because I knew that I had a limited amount of space and I really had to pick and choose who I was allowing to be there. And so it was a personal thing for me. I knew I was going to get emotional. I knew that it was going to be a very private moment in my heart that was happening publicly, which can make you feel very vulnerable. And especially for me, I believe myself to be very much an introvert, although people will call me an extrovert. I'm really not. And so because I was having such a private moment publicly, it was a big deal for me who I actually invited and who was going to be there. And it meant something to me because of everything that we had gone through just to get to that point of marriage. And so, at the end of the day, do you. No, it's your wedding, it's your marriage, it's your life. Decide what you want to do, stick with that decision, and keep pressing forward.
Word. All right, we made it to
Red Trail Bridge? I don't remember.
We don't know where we are. We left the map in the car and just started walking, and we found the little overlook, and it's really pretty up here. So, and they had like a little cozy little bench, so we're sitting here, and so we figured we'd do another little wedding question. What do you have?
If you could do something over again, what would it be?
Like if I could change something about our wedding, or just like... I would change the time.
Yeah.
I would change the time. So we forgot about daylight savings time when we got married.
Yeah, we booked our wedding site in February.
Yep.
And we were like, 4:00 is going to be a great time.
In November. So we forgot all about that whole it getting dark earlier thing. And so we had the, photographer and all that kind of stuff. And
we had 30 minutes of sunlight.
So we were able to actually like bump the wedding up like 30 minutes or something like that, just to kind of give us a little bit more time. But yeah, I would change the time. I would say,
like
do a 2:00 wedding,
and the length of time.
And the length of time. We paid for extra time for the reception, and we ended up calling it like an hour and a half early.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, see y'all. Thanks for coming. sparklers, and called it a
And
night.
everybody had started leaving already and different things
Yeah.
like that. And so,
Well, yeah, once we did the sparklers, like, people were like, oh, that must be it. And
Yeah.
so then we were like, no, y'all can stay. And people started putting on their coats, and that was that. So
yeah.
it was like, well, so yeah, that's the one thing I would change is the time.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think for me, I would change maybe, I don't know. I might change. I wish we had gotten more like family photos and things like that together.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get all of the photos that we had laid out. Because again, with the time and everything like that, we didn't get as many shots.
We didn't get as many of them in the location that we wanted. We got them all, but it was like under the awning of the reception place, and
Yeah.
so we still got them, but it wasn't probably how we had envisioned, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, even though we had some hiccups with our location, which we did, we had some hiccups before the wedding, we had some hiccups after the wedding. But what I will say about our location is that day of, I have never been to a more organized wedding day of than I did at that place. So, I mean, yeah, we definitely had some lumps and bumps, but day of the wedding, my glass was never empty.
Nope.
My food was there. I didn't worry about one thing on the day of my wedding. And that is something that I know a lot of people can't necessarily say about their venue. But the day of that wedding, these people had walkie-talkies. They had little golf carts. They were, I mean,
they were super efficient
on it day of. Like, and that was just, you talk about something running efficiently, and that was really important to us. I mean, the reason why we had our wedding in the location that we did is because it provided lodging options, and it allowed us to do everything in one location. So we got married, and then it was a quick walk over to the reception location. And we were able to do pictures and all different types of stuff like that. Bugs on you? Yeah.
We're in nature.
So we were able to do pictures and get everything done all in one location, and they provided all of the staff. They had all of the tables. And so that wasn't anything that we needed to do for our location. Like other locations, a lot of times you have to provide the staff or pay for the staff and different things like that. You do pay a little bit more for convenience. I'm not going to pretend that we didn't. But the convenience of having everything there, not really needing to break anything down or take any type of decorations from the location. It was just, my husband's getting eaten. Okay. It was really helpful. So those were really helpful things. Even though we had some lumps and bumps with them, day of
was
they
great.
came through.